Hi, I'm Sean Slaughter. I'm a scuba instructor at Adventures in Scuba.
Sean Slaughter is my guest. Sean, tell me a bit about your background.
My background, I've been a school teacher, junior high, for the past 12 years, 13 years actually, teaching social studies, language arts, physical education, math, you name it.
So it's not much of a leap then to go from a teacher to being a scuba teacher, or is it?
No, it's not much. You have to know your curriculum, and teaching and standing in front of people to teach isn't that hard. You kind of do it every day. So to do it for adults or kids, however you get, whatever you get, I guess, not however.
Have you ever had to give a scuba student a timeout? Sit in the corner?
No, not really.
What motivated you? What motivated you to become a diver and then an instructor?
A diver. My first Discover Scuba dive was amazing. My friend kind of said, "Hey, you've got to try this. Diving's amazing." He worked in the Caribbean lots and came back to Calgary and told me about all his diving adventures. So I did it on his wedding. He got married in Curacao, and that's where I did my first Discover Scuba dive. And I didn't start again for another 5 years when I met Deb. Something that, as we both got divorced, our exes would have never done. And then we started together something that we'd always wanted to do. So it's one thing we started together. Why did I become a dive instructor? Because my wife and I both have kids. I have 2, she has 2, and 3 of them out of the 4 were interested in diving, and we really wanted to make sure that we were confident enough to be divers. And so we wanted to get to rescue and master scuba diver and not go any further, but the great staff here at Adventures in Scuba have talked us into being professionals, and we like the fact that we're professionals because it just gives you so much more confidence as divers.
And as a parent in the water, as a diver with your kids there, you know so much more.
Definitely. I don't want to say we tortured our kids when they got trained, but they had us to deal with, as well as several other the instructors at Adventures in Scuba, and they got a lot of time in the pool to work on their skills with that, having us as instructors.
What are some of the perks of being a scuba instructor?
At Adventures in Scuba,
Yeah.
I kind of gave one away. The pool time you can get to practice your skills, the benefits of obviously getting to get people to learn how to scuba dive and getting them into diving, I think, is huge. And trying to expand the sport to kids, which is fun. I enjoy teaching teenagers. That's why I'm a junior high teacher. Getting them involved and talking to them about it, and hearing from my students who scuba dive is really cool. So asking them, "Oh, have you been here? Have you been there?" and trying to get other kids involved and interested is kind of cool too.
If you had some advice to give to someone who is thinking about becoming a dive master, becoming an instructor, what would you say to them?
Take your time, master all of your basic skills. You don't want to be going through this dive master course and struggling through the skills circuit. Practice, practice, practice. And it just gives you a ton of confidence as a diver when you're done the dive master course. Yeah, it's, again, I don't want to use the word torture, but it sometimes seems like it, that the dive master course is trying to torture you, but really it's not. It's making you a more confident and competent diver at the end, which you want to be as a professional, because you have people that will be nervous and not want to get in the water. Sorry?
And depending on you.
And depending on you, exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
As a scuba instructor at Adventures in Scuba, you get to lead trips, and trips to Bonaire. Like, you got the t-shirts. What's it like leading a trip?
It's a definite benefit, obviously, of being an instructor here at Adventures. What's it like? It's awesome. You get to dive. You get to teach people how to dive while you're on the trip. As someone who gets to go on them, as somebody buys into going on one of the trips with instructors from Adventures in Scuba, you have that, safety net, I guess, knowing that there's a professional there with you at all times. You don't have to rely on the resort ones, or you also get the option to do courses with us and trust your Adventures in Scuba dive instructors.
How important is it for dive trips to allow kids and bring kids on trips?
Well, from my understanding, there hasn't been many, but I know some other staff here have taken their kids on trips. But taking our kids on a trip, I think for us is huge. We did our first trip to Roatan with our kids, and they loved it. They got 20-some divers. Why is it important to be able to take them? I think for them to experience the world, experience the underwater world, they're going to be the ones protecting it for us in the future, and getting them to see those things, I think, is huge for the future of scuba diving.
They can become future ambassadors of the ocean.
Exactly, yeah, right? Perfect, yeah.
Sean, appreciate your time today. Thank you.
No problem.